So a couple of weeks ago, I made this video called Vechain gonna pump 84%. And it was, the video did nice, it's still, in the cards. But there was this one guy in the comments, a week ago, he came out and said, hey man, that 84% pump, where is that? And I was like, yeah, it's gonna come. And then, yesterday he was back again. Hey man, you are a scammer. 84%, never came. So I thought I should update you on what is happening with the 84% move and what we are expecting for Vechain. Now, I'm still very highly certain, not 100%, nothing is 100% live, but 99.9%, the 84% pump is gonna come. The pump that we are actually talking about is over here. So I made a video 2 weeks ago, give or take, it was up here. Right now that pump is looking like it's gonna be 87% towards the upside, so that's probably title on the thumbnail that's gonna be in this video. 87% pump towards the upside, but when I made the video it was 84%, and this is the move that we are actually looking at. So what went wrong, or what went right, what is happening, and why didn't we go 84% towards the upside? Now look at this over here. If you zoom in a little bit over here on the chart, you'll see right now, let's go to the weekly time frame. You'll see right now that there is actually nothing wrong with the chart. The chart is actually looking exceptionally well. So over here there was the accumulation zone down here that broke towards the upside over here. Then we are going inside this trend over here towards the upside. Right now we are even increasing the trend towards the upside. There was this trend line over here. So this trend line over here actually created the line that we are actually looking at. So when we made the video, it was over here somewhere. We are above the resistance level, and that's why I was actually very, very bullish. Unfortunately, we didn't pump from this level over here, and this is the hard part when it comes to tech analysis. So you can be bullish, but the price can still fall back towards the downside. Now there could be, different reasons for that. But for whatever reason, we did go back down, retest this midline over here, and right now we are coming back towards the upside. So will we pump 84%? And I think it's very, very likely. Now, and I think it's going to come very, very soon. So you might again, come back in, a week's two and be like, hey man, where is the 84% pump? It's not a trading setup. I'm just telling you what, what's going to happen next, So if I say over here it's going to go towards upside, it might go a little bit down and then towards upside. But, in general terms, this is the move towards upside that's going right now, right? So if you do have these kind of pullbacks up here towards downside over here, the analysis is not wrong. Because we are not doing the small time frames. On the big time frames, you can pull back and can do a whole bunch of stuff. And oftentimes when I talk about stuff, it's somewhere around the top of the move. And the reason that I'm doing that is because a lot of people want to watch these videos, right? Because when stuff is down, like over here towards downside, not a lot of people are really interested in what's happening with whatever the chart I'm looking at. So, we YouTubers, we figured out when the stuff is pumping like this, big green candles, and looks like it's going to go towards upside, it's oftentimes a very good time to make a video. So, we just do what we do to get views, there is that, but the analysis is still correct. So let me show you actually what's happening. So if you go to monthly time frame, there are a couple of levels of resistance that are very, very important. The 0.52 up here is very important because that's what we are trying to break. You see up here we haven't broken that just yet, but it's looking good. I'm going to explain to you why. And the next one is up here at 0.89. There is another one over here at 0.78, but I wouldn't consider this as very, very important level of resistance. We could come up here. Maybe zigzag a little bit, but I think this one is going to be broken very, very fast. It's going to go all the way towards downside, towards this at 0.89, and that's why I'm saying that 87% move up is very, very likely, and it's coming very, very soon. The reason for that up here is after this big move towards downside, we create what we call a support level over here towards downside. We broke that, we retested, we went down, and this is right now standing as a major level of resistance for Vechain. So the next move towards upside up here, as soon as we break 0.52, is going all the way up to 0.89. And we haven't broken it yet, right? We haven't broken it. There are some indications up here that, that we might have broken this towards upside, but we haven't broken it yet, especially this move towards upside. I've been looking at this a little bit over here, thinking, is this the correct channels? Because when it comes to the channels and stuff like that, then they don't have always, there are definitely different options for how you can draw the channel, but you can see up here that we pull back inside over here right now consolidating. Now, it can go a little bit more lower towards downside over here. and I'm going to show you why. But just because it goes towards the upside, it does not mean that we are not going to go to 87% towards the upside or 84% towards the upside, because it's going to happen. But you know, in the short term up here, you can also see over here on the 4-hourly time frame, what we have over here right now is actually a very, very nice channel. Now, unfortunately, this is a very steep channel towards the upside, and there are two ways how these channels can actually play out. Number one, the channel can break towards the downside, which is you know, very, very likely. On the other hand, it can break towards upside, which would be exceptionally, you know, bullish move up here, and we will explode towards upside. For people who are not familiar with technical analysis, any kind of channel towards upside, towards downside, sideways channel, if anything it goes towards upside, regardless that that's a, you know, triangle or a wedge or a channel, anything that goes towards the upside has bigger chance to break towards the downside, and anything that goes towards the downside has a bigger chance by default to break towards the upside. So when we are looking at something like this over here, we are thinking that, you know, there is of course a bigger chance to break this towards the upside and then pull back before we again do another move towards the upside, and that can actually happen. Now in the bull market, when we are stupidly bullish, you know, these things often tend to break towards the upside, and that's actually what we are looking at right now. Now there is some kind of problems that might occur around April the 8th. We are a little bit unsure how that's gonna play out, but you know, you're welcome to watch my channel and my live streams for that data analysis. So you know, you know, if you do not break down on April the 8th, where is April the 8th? All the way up here. April 8th, if you don't break over here towards the downside over here by that time, you know, we are definitely looking, you know, the April 8th can actually pump the price. That said, this channel up here will either break towards the downside or towards the upside. If it breaks towards the upside, we are looking for a small pullback towards the upside. On the other hand, if this bearish channel does break towards the upside, which there is a highly probable move to do, because the bull markets do tend to break these things towards the upside, and this is what people fail to recognize when they are learning technical analysis. They see, you know, rising channel there and immediately think it's going to break towards the upside. No, in bullish markets, bearish channels do tend to break towards the upside, and once they actually do that, this is a strong signal of a very, very explosive bullish move towards the upside, and that's why we are looking at that right now. We're looking at it's going to break towards the upside. Now, just because in this short term up here we might have a more pullback, stuff like that, yeah, again, it's not the fact that we are gonna not do 84% move. We are gonna do 84, 87% move towards the upside. And let me show you on the bigger picture, right? So on small time frames, you know, you can pull back, you can do zigzag, you can consolidate up here, even longer up here. Yeah, I mean, this can, you know, take technically, you know, months of times over here consolidation before it actually go towards the upside. But we are already having some very good indications right now that this is gonna go towards the upside. Now, if you look at over here, this candle up here, this is what we call a doji. This is a bottom doji over here that's right now being created on the weekly time frame. This doji over here, this is actually a very, very bullish candle over here. This is a what we call indecision down at the bottom. These three candles are right now creating what we call a morning doji star pattern. It's oftentimes a reversal pattern, so we are looking for the next move towards the upside. Not only that, if you look at some indicators over here, I'm going to show you over here. This is what it's called RSI indicator down here. So this last move towards the upside is doing this move over here right now towards the upside. What you're going to see is that the trend is not being broken. So the RSI trend, just the same as you can actually draw the lines on the chart, you can actually also draw the lines on the trends. We are not actually breaking it towards the downside. If we break this line towards the upside, this is very, very bad for not just, you know, on Vechain. This is actually very, very bad for everything, because you are actually breaking this uptrend over here right now towards the downside. You're losing momentum, and then you know, the next big move might actually pull us all the way towards the downside. You know, the thing is, right now we are so close to the halving when it comes to Bitcoin that we do not believe that, you know, we are just gonna, for whatever reason, get to these, you know, low levels down here again. Over here, you know, we're gonna get to these lows down here again. It could happen, but we just don't believe that's gonna be the case, right? I mean, you can probably watch some other videos and some other YouTube channels that are gonna tell you that, yeah, we're gonna pull back down here, but you know, our analysis is based on why should we pull back? So, you know, you and other people can buy for whatever reason cheap, you know, cheap altcoins. There is no buying cheap altcoins. You had the chance all the way since, you know, June 2022 all the way to buy cheap altcoins. I mean, this has been bleeding down for a very, very long time. You had the time to buy. And right now we are out of what we call accumulation zone up here. So there is no reason to go back down here so you can buy. You understand that? Now, there is this other reason why we could go quickly down or something like that over here. That might happen. But, you know, basically it just doesn't make any kind of sense to go towards the downside. Let's see over here, the moving average is up here. This is on the weekly time frame up here. You'll see this purple line right now. This is a 200 moving average. We came above that pullback, and right now we still have 5 hours left. Almost 6 hours left until this candle over here closes. This is a daily, weekly candle. It's going to close in 6 hours. And if you can actually get back above the 200 moving average, you can see up here very, very nicely that we tried to getting back above the 200 moving average. We failed that, and then we broke that, tried to hold above that, nope, right back down again. But right now we're getting support on the 10 moving average, just like over here, towards upside, and we are looking to close this above 200 moving. If we can actually manage to close this above 200 moving average, if we can do the move up here on the 4 hour, the outside of this channel towards upside, and breaks this towards upside as well, I mean, the stuff is just bullish. By default is bullish. You understand that? So we are looking right now for this move actually to start going a little bit over here towards upside, breaking the resistance level, and it's going to pretty much go to, you know, 84% towards upside. I mean, there is no doubt in my mind, you know, that is the case. Another thing up here that you can actually see that right now we are again strongly bullish is because we have momentum increase. The momentum increase, that's the MACD indicator up here. You can see these two over here. I don't know if you can see that, but you know, they are a little bit higher than the previous. So this mountain over here of these histograms is a little bit you know, lower than this one. So this one is a little bit higher than the previous over here, so it goes towards the upside. This is telling us that these two moves are not actually losing momentum, they're increasing in momentum. So when price goes towards the upside and you are increasing momentum, what you are actually doing is you are actually making a very, very bullish move towards the upside. So when you're going like this, you are actually increasing the speed towards the upside, you're increasing the momentum. That's what it's actually telling us right now. Even these moves up here towards the upside, they're increasing in momentum, and the only right now, you know, rational thought or, you know, analysis right now would be that this increase in momentum is gonna prevail and continue towards the upside. So as you can see up here right now, you know, everything looks nice, especially on the big time frames up here. Monthly time frame over here, above the 50 moving average, again, gonna close that in 5 hours and 50 seconds over here. We're gonna close above 50 moving average and stay above the 50 moving average up here right now, which is actually very, very good. Ever since the 10-20 moving average over here on the monthly time frame, we bounced above the 50. Right now we went below that, but we are closing above the 50 moving average. Again, very, very bullish. The 3-month candle, this is a 3-month candle, is also gonna close in 5 hours and 50 minutes. So we got a 3 very important candles in 5 hours and 15. We got a weekly close, we got a monthly close, and we got also 3 months close candle. So we got 3 candles that are gonna close, and closes are very, very important. And you can see over here that we are coming back above 10-20 moving average. We already got out of this accumulation zone up here. And when you're looking at this 3 monthly chart over here, there are actually no resistance level all the way up to, you know, 0.95. So in the next 3 months, you know, can this go all the way up here? Is this gonna use 2 or 3 candles to get up here? We don't know, but you know, if you look on a monthly time frame, which we, you know, often do to find this resistance level where, you know, major peaks are and stuff like that, this looks right now that, you know, this move up here is going to consolidate. Maybe it's going to take a couple of more weeks before we actually go towards the upside, but you know, the next move is like, let me do it over here, 88, let me get it, 87% towards upside, give or take, right? So 87% is not a trading strategy setup, something like that. It's just, you know, basically long-term hodl move towards upside, the next move that's going to happen. All I'm saying that this move up here towards upside has more probability right now than move back down to whatever level that, you know, these bears are actually talking about. And, you know, I could be wrong, I could be right, I don't know. But, you know, don't go in my comments and say, hey, man, after 3 days, hey, man, you know, that 87% didn't happen, man. We pull back, what's happening, man? I don't know. Guys, hit like on the way out. Also, down in the comments, there are probably some kind of links you can click. Join the TF Fans Club. Learn about the lines. Bye-bye, guys. Where's my outro?